Oh, hey guys. I didn't know you were there. Is that Mrs. Cameron's class? Hey. My name is Mrs. Graybill, and I teach Tinkergarten, which is a nature program in Virginia Beach. I'm also William Graybill's mom. So if he's there, say hi to him for me. I'll see you at the bus stop, Will. I was invited into your room via video by Mrs. Cameron, which I'm so grateful for. I'm so excited to be with you guys a little bit in this way. And I'm going to teach you a little bit about living things, which I have behind me. These are the topics we're going to hit. And we're going to read some nonfiction books, which of course a nonfiction book is a book that talks about real things. And you all know that. A fiction book is a made-up story. I'm also going to hit some information on text features, which is a component of a nonfiction book that helps us to further understand the topic. So we'll get into all of that. But today, we're only going to look at one of these animals. And I'm going to give you some hints about what that animal is. You ready for the hints? Okay, I want you to think. So I'm going to go, why don't I do this? I'll go through all the things I have up here. Not all of them are animals, but they're all living. Okay, I'll go through each thing, and then I'll give you the hints, and you have to guess. Okay? So here are the things that we'll hit at some point in the next few weeks. The humpback whale. The California condor. The golden tortoise beetle. The chipmunk. The lion. Raw. The megalosaurus. How many of you are dinosaur lovers? I bet there are some in Mrs. Cameron's room. The bear. The earth, which we all have to be a fan of because we're all living here. And then the mushroom. Okay, so here are my hints for my topic for today, my living thing for today. You ready? This animal is an expert fisher and eats mostly fish and meat. They can also eat plants and bugs. This animal walks on 4 paws, but can rise up on its hind legs. Even though this animal is big and heavy, it can run very fast, up to 40 miles an hour, which is about how fast your mom and dad probably go when they're driving around Strawbridge, like General Booth and London Bridge, hopefully. And then because of the lack of food in the winter months, this animal hibernates or sleeps out the winter in a den. That gave it away. Do you guys know? Which animal? You got it. It's the bear. Woo! All right. So I'm going to read you a nonfiction book about bears. It's very simple. So it's probably not going to give you a lot of new information that you don't already know. So I'm going to go kind of quick through it. But really what I want you to focus on is the photographs. That's my goal for you. Look at the pictures. I want to show you more pictures of bears. Okay, this is called brown bear. Can you see? I want to make sure there's no glare. All right. The baby bears are called cubs. Let's see if I can do this. So you can see the picture and I'll read the words. Let's see if I can organize myself here to be able to do that. The baby bears are called cubs and look a lot like teddy bears. Even though they are 5 months old when they leave the den, they are very small and need their mom's constant love and attention. They will stay right by her side for the next 2 years. The cubs love their mom's milk, so much that when they are drinking, they hum to themselves contentedly. They are rather like happy cats purring. Mom will keep feeding them lots of milk until they are almost as big as she is. That's a long time. Mom takes her babies everywhere she goes, and they have many exciting adventures. They cross rivers, explore fields of flowers, laze around in the grass in the meadows, and even go to the beach to play in the sand. But Mom is always watching over them to make sure they stay safe and don't get into trouble. You know how they say, where there's a baby bear cub, there's a mom close by. That's true. While the family is out exploring, the 2 young bears eat a lot of fresh green grass. The grass is crunchy and tastes deliciously sweet. It is very healthy food and helps to wake up their tummies after their long winter sleep. The young cubs are bursting with energy. They love to play fight, chase each other, climb out on logs. The games they play are great fun, but they also help the bears to grow big and strong, and they teach them essential survival skills that will be important when they have to survive on their own. After all their adventures, it's time for a nap. Mom guards her cubs while they are fast asleep, always on the lookout for danger. A brown bear mom is one of the bravest moms on earth, and she will do anything to protect her babies. When autumn arrives, it's time to go fishing. Mom is an expert. When she spots a tasty-looking salmon in the river, she charges into the water at top speed and makes a huge splash. She uses her long claws as hooks to catch the fish when it tries to swim away. A brown bear likes nothing more than a tasty salmon to eat, and the two cubs love the taste of it right away. So Mom is kept busy catching enough fish to feed herself and her two hungry offspring. The rich oil in the fish will give the family the fat they need to stay warm throughout the freezing, cold winter to come. But brown bears don't eat only salmon. They eat lots of foods. They even love to eat clams on warm summer days. Mom takes her youngest to the beach to find these sweet treats. Looking for clam is like a treasure hunt, and the cubs use their paws to turn over rocks and dig deep in the sand. The cubs are growing bigger and braver every day, and after nearly 2 years, they are almost as big as their mom. And they are still young and have a great deal more to learn before she lets them out into the wide, wide world on their own. As the cubs grow older, Mom teaches them to fish for their own salmon, and they spend day after day in the river. Fishing lessons aren't as much fun as playing, but the cubs need to learn how to find the best fishing spots and the different ways to catch their prey. Catching fish is not easy. At first, the cubs splash about too much and scare the fish away. Or they jump and miss, so a lot of fish manage to escape. But eventually, the cubs get really good at fishing, almost as good as Mom. When the cubs are 2.5 years old, Mom's work is finally done. She's taught them how to fish, how to find clams and other food, and how to make a winter den, and how to stay out of danger. Now Mom has to leave them, but the two cubs will stay for a while longer. The two young bears still like to play fight, just like when they were babies. They are careful not to hurt each other and use their paws like boxing gloves. This helps them to learn how to protect themselves now that Mom has gone. The young bears celebrate their 3rd birthday together, hidden away in a warm winter den where they spend as long as 5 months fast asleep. At last, spring arrives and it's warm enough to venture outside. They leave the den and say goodbye to each other. Now they are ready for the biggest adventure yet, starting families of their own. It's exciting. Okay, I have a couple more facts for you here. So brown bears live in North America, which is where we live, Europe, and Asia. Brown bears are the 2nd largest bear in the world after polar bears, which we're going to talk about in 1 second. Male bears can weigh over 1,000 pounds and stand nearly 10 feet tall. Brown bears are not always brown. Their thick fur may be black, cinnamon, auburn, or even blonde. Brown bears will eat almost anything. Most of their diet is fish, berries, herbs, roots, nuts, flowers, grasses, and other vegetation. But they also like insects, honey, small mammals, and even elk. That's not a small mammal. So do you think they're herbivores, carnivores, or omnivores? You're a pretty smart group. What do you think? If you said omnivore, you're right, because they eat meat and vegetables. Brown bears have very good noses and can smell things from nearly a mile away. That's really far. In early fall, when brown bears are feeding on salmon, they can gain up to 30 pounds a day. They will live off fat during their long winter hibernation. During hibernation, a bear's body functions slow down and its heart rate drops from 40 to 70 beats per minute, which is closer to what adult humans are, all the way down to 8 to 12 beats a minute. That would not be good for a human. Brown bears are endangered because people are hunting them and destroying their home. All right, so now I'm gonna show you a book called Dangerous Animals, also a nonfiction book. This book, because of the title, you can probably gather that this is gonna be about several different animals. I'm only gonna focus on the bears, so I'm gonna kind of skim through and I'm gonna draw your attention to some text features, okay? So right in the beginning of the book, we see what's called the table of contents. The table of contents is a list of headings and what page to find each topic on. So that's a really important part of a nonfiction book, right? Because if you ever refer back and you want to see, oh, what page did I see, what page did I find about shark attacks? Very easily can see using the table of contents that shark attacks are on page 18. Okay, so here's the definition of table of contents. I don't know how well you can see this, but we'll try here. Okay. Okay, next, we briefly mentioned the polar bear, but I want to bring it back up again just for a second to show you a nonfiction text feature. So we have a heading here. Let me see if I have one on headings. Where's heading? Might have to reach here. Sorry, guys. Where did I put my other one? I don't know where it went. Okay. Well, a heading, let's see, it's right here, I think. Okay, here it is. A heading is a title at the top of the page that can tell what we'll be reading about. So the topic. That's a heading. Okay? And so here, the heading is stay away. So we know we're going to be reading about something that we want to stay away from. Animals can be dangerous when they are protecting their babies or the place where they live, otherwise known as their territory. Here it says a mother polar bear looks after her cubs until they can look after themselves. This here is considered a caption because a caption is text near a picture that tells more about the picture. Here's another caption. A male bear tries to attack the cubs. The mother protects them. And then here it says, she scares the bear away and her cubs are safe for the moment. All right. And then to round out our afternoon together, or our morning, whenever this video is shown, is the glossary. So a glossary is a list of important text and their meaning. Okay, another nonfiction text feature that I'm sure you'll discuss with your teacher, Mrs. Cameron, and something we'll talk about too, is a bold word. And oftentimes you'll see a bold word in nonfiction text, and that bold word is making you think, wait, this is important. This is a word I need to remember. And sometimes it won't always tell the definition of the word right there within the text, but it might be making you think, oh, I can go to the glossary. And in the glossary is a list of important text and their meaning. So you can see here in the glossary, there are some words that the author wanted you to pay special attention to. All right, and some of these words you might already know the definition to, and other ones you might not. But it also can kind of help you know what the main ideas of the story are just by looking at the glossary. You can know you learned about hunting and territory and prey and things being poisonous and venom and fangs and tentacles, some important topics there, right? Well, I've had so much fun with your class learning about bears today and some nonfiction text features. I hope to be back as long as Mrs. Cameron allows me to be back. I will be. And we'll go through all these other animals. We have at least 8 more times together. All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Cameron's class. See you next time. Bye.